Shantae Half Genie Hero is a side-scrolling action-adventure platformer developed by WayForward. This last month, we were graced with the Ultimate Edition of Half Genie Hero and thought some of you out there might like a refresher on how things work in Scuttletown. Or, if this is your first Shantae experience and are feeling a little stuck, we got some tips that will get you whipping through baddies in no time. Tip number 1, search every nook and cranny. Shantae's levels are extremely vast and almost have a Metroidvania feel to them. To those unfamiliar, Metroidvania, a combination of Metroid and Castlevania, refers to action games with large, interconnecting worlds a player can explore, but are limited by doors and other obstacles until certain items and abilities are obtained to advance. Shantae's worlds are not interconnected, but each level has that Metroidvania feel with its many branching paths and secret areas. There's so many places to explore off the beaten path, so make sure to check something out if you see anything out of the ordinary. You just might find a heart holder or a transformation ability. However, you will sometimes need an ability to get to a particular area, which leads us to our next tip. Tip number 2, don't get hung up. It can be rough being so tantalizingly close to that shiny chest but not be able to get there. It's okay. You'll be able to get there eventually, so just try to ignore your OCD tendencies and move on. If you're not sure how to proceed, you probably don't have the needed ability yet. You'll have to revisit levels for story requirements anyway, so just make a note of it and move on. Tip number 3, revisiting levels. Although there are story requirements that make you revisit levels, make sure that you take it upon yourself to revisit levels as well. There are lots of items and collectibles to get in each stage. Plus, the levels change after going through them for the first time, with different enemies and slight changes in design, making your return feel fresh. Also, make sure you revisit a level if you've obtained a new ability. You'll most likely be able to use it somewhere to get a shiny new item. Tip number 4, use your magic. One cool thing about Half Genie Hero is how many tools you have at your disposal. Shantae can use her dancing skills to use powers and transform into animals, and those animals have their own abilities as well, so it can be easy to forget you have a magic meter too. You can purchase abilities that consume magic at the store or in the levels. Don't forget to do this early on as you don't have anything by default. We recommend starting out with a fireball. It's not too expensive and it's nice to have a ranged projectile. Which, speaking of upgrades, tip number 5, the best upgrades. Shantae has a lot of options in the upgrade department, so it can be a little daunting to pick out the best ones. But don't worry, that's why we're here. After getting the fireball, we would recommend applying some silky cream to those locks to make hair whipping faster. It may be tempting to go for damage upgrades first, but trust us, it's all about that DPS. Next, we think you should get the backdash ability, which is a simple upgrade that makes Shantae, well, dash backwards. It's great for spacing and can help you escape enemy attacks in a pinch. Also, something great to have early on is Mirror. This upgrade will unlock after purchasing the Bubble power-up. It's a long-lasting shield that reflects enemy projectiles, making some bosses a lot easier and is overall a great tool to have in your arsenal. That should be enough to get you going in the beautiful world of Shantae Half Genie Hero. This is one that shouldn't be looked over by any fan of side-scrollers. It's a hark to the days when platformers were king, with modern quality of life improvements and exploration that doesn't feel monotonous, but satisfying. We hope these tips help you enjoy your adventure to the fullest and give you the power to defend Scuttletown once and for all.